lot of belief in new media as being a way to develop the independent media in the region, but internet penetration still remains low. It's increasing. We're seeing more alternative voices online. We're seeing more platforms for anything from transparency and accountability to collaborative working between journalists in the region. But it's difficult. The reason I say it's difficult is because a lot of people say that it's really well developed in the region, and I don't think it is well developed yet. I think it's developing. But when you have governments that control the main TV and radio broadcasting, new media is the only platform and medium available for independent and alternative journalists and civil society activists. The biggest challenge confronting new media in South Caucasus is internet penetration. Internet penetration remains low, and even if it's increasing significantly in the capital cities, in the regions it remains incredibly low. It's expensive, the quality is not good. A lot of people think that mobile phones could be the solution to internet penetration in the regions, but not everyone can afford to buy an internet-enabled phone. So that for me is the main challenge. Second challenge, I think, when new media develops, you're going to see more attempts by governments to control information online, and we're seeing that in Azerbaijan currently, and there's no reason to suppose that Armenia and Georgia will be any different if internet poses a threat to the governments. I'm most impressed by what's happening in Azerbaijan. I'm seeing more alternative voices, more alternative media using the internet incredibly well, and especially social media. For me, the real interesting story is what's happening with new media in Azerbaijan. In Armenia, it's not so well developed, in my opinion. Armenians would probably disagree with me. Georgia, I think, the thing is about Georgia is it has better press freedom than Armenia and Azerbaijan, and so therefore there's probably not as much importance placed on social media and new media in Georgia. So what we're seeing instead is civil society create platforms. We're seeing Transparency International doing a lot of work in order to make the country more transparent, to make government more accountable. We're seeing more platforms like ELVA, which you probably heard about or you know about, which is monitoring the administrative boundary line between South Ossetia and Georgia. We're seeing more of those things. We're seeing more use of new and social media in Azerbaijan. We're seeing more use of ICTs, using technology for concrete development projects in Georgia. Armenia is, Armenia, I think, sorry to pause, but Armenia showed some promise in 2008, because in 2008 there was a presidential election, and there was a state of emergency declared, and for 20 days all media was censored. So blogs and online was the only way that political parties or activists could get their message out. But then since then I don't think it's lived up to expectations. But I think we'll see maybe the next presidential election, before the next presidential election we'll see more use of new and social media in Armenia.